Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays. It is December the 24th and it is currently 1 p.m. here in the UK, in South Wales. Not that it would be any different time in any part of the UK, but it is 1 o'clock here in the UK. And I really wanted to get this video done today before we hit Christmas tomorrow. We've got lots going on in the house. We're prepping the turkey ready for tomorrow and the veg is all being prepped. But I wanted to sit down and Fion's kindly helped me set up because Caris is working. She's got a new job in a new pen store, which is great for her. So she's currently playing with pens in her own way today and wanted to get this video out this evening, I hope by the end of Christmas Eve. Got a couple of videos coming up, but this one I'm going to get out first. So what I'm talking about today, I'm going to be looking at what is my, I wouldn't say best, but my choice of pens, my top 5 pens for 2016. I did the same video last year for 2015, and I'm going to be looking at the top 5 pens for 2016. In no particular order. I'm just, it's not a this is my favourite and then this is 5th, 4th and so on. I'm just going to be looking at the 5 pens that I find myself reaching for and filling up more often than the rest. Some have been with me for longer throughout 2016 and some are sort of recent acquisitions that just can't seem to get out of my collection already. And I'm going to be doing a few videos like this over the coming sort of weeks and months. I have penciled in a video for the top 5 inks of 2016, just like I did last year with the top 5 inks of 2015. That one is going to be difficult. I cannot narrow that down. I've had so many new inks over the last year. I think I'm sort of topping 160 now in total, which is just balmy. So to choose 5 is really sort of quite nuts. But I like a challenge and I'm sort of just ticking them off. And again, that will be the 5 inks that I reach for more often than not. So I'm not saying, so back to the pens. Actually, no, let me talk, there's a couple of other videos I'm going to be looking at doing over the years, over the next couple of months. If you feel they're useful, I'm going to be looking at things like the top 5 pens for under sort of £50, starter pens, that sort of the top 5 pens with gold nibs, piston filler nibs, so those sort of things that you can have a look at really. But today it's just a week left of 2016, so I thought this is the best time to do this, and I'm going to be looking at those 5 pens that I've looked at and used most throughout 2016. So where do we start? I have them lined up behind me. I am going to cheat a little, and you'll see why, because I just couldn't sort of, there were a few that I needed to sort of mention, and I'm also going to sort of talk about something else as well. But anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So just in no particular order. The Lamy 2000. This one really surprised me. I'm not going to do videos of me writing or anything like that with them. This is just me and the camera now. There will be separate reviews of all of these pens that you'll be able to find. This one I haven't done as yet, but it will be there, and there are plenty of other people who can see this pen in detail. But however, why is this within my top 5? It is a pen that I've known about for probably ever since I got into fountain pens really. When I started off with a Pelikan M200, and then you start sort of reading stuff on forums and things and looking at videos, and you start seeing a lot about the Lamy 2000, this sort of iconic fountain pen really. And I avoided it for so long because, it looks like that. It's a black pen. There is nothing to dress up about this. It is a black pen. Oh, it's leaked a little bit. I only filled this up just before I sort of came on, that's why. But I like the fact that it's got this hooded nib, but other than that, it is a black sort of monochrome pen really, which for those of you that have been watching my videos for sort of long enough now, I tend to like something with a bit of colour, with a bit of life, with a bit of personality, and I never thought I'd add one to my collection. I also read some things about the extra fine nib, and I like extra fine nibs, and some people have said that the extra fine nibs are not great, and I really wanted to try one before I bought it. So I was very lucky to have had the opportunity at the London Pen Show back in October, beginning of October, to have been able to try out this pen. And not only that, got it at a fantastic price, so I couldn't let it go. And since then, over the last 2 months, I haven't been able to let it go. Absolutely chuffed to bits with it. It writes like a dream. The line is a great extra fine line, you know, and it's smooth, and I find myself sort of reaching for it all the time. So this is the first one. Again, it's not number one, these are in no order, this is just the first one. Now, again, another acquisition, I'm not sure what the word is there, I'm sure somebody will tell me. This, again, I got at the London Pen Show. A pen that I never thought I'd have. I was just wandering around looking at pens, and I knew I wanted something with an inlaid nib. And I'll show you what I mean. Again, this will be reviewed separately, but this is what I mean by an inlaid nib. Can you see that there? I'm not sure you can, not sure what the lights are like, but the nib isn't inside the pen, it's sort of inlaid onto the, almost onto the grip section here. And this is the Schaefer Legacy. I sort of put this together in sort of parts really when I was at the pen show, because there was a beautiful red finished one as well there, but a guy stood alongside me, picked that up, and I was stood there loitering around as you do, wondering whether he's going to buy it or not, and he did. But I loved this blue, but the blue came with a black, plain black cap, which I really didn't like. It didn't do anything for me. So we sort of shifted it around, we shifted some nibs around, and we put together this pen. And I absolutely love it. I love the finish on this, I love the cap, I love the nib. It is super, super smooth. This one, like the Lamy, we're not talking of sort of, you know, particularly cheap pens, but they're both gold nib pens. But we're looking around about, you know, I got this for £100. They retail generally about £140, but I've seen some on sale now in the Christmas sales already for about £120. This I paid £125 for. Again, you know, it depends. Some Schaefer Legacies go for a lot of money. I was very lucky. Is this an original finish? I don't think so. I think they, you know, people make bodies for them and put them together, and it doesn't bother me in the least. I love the nib. The nib is what I like, and I love then the finish of this, which makes a perfect pen for me. So that's two. So sticking along the same theme. Now this one I've had for pretty much all of 2016. This I picked up courtesy of John Hall at Right Here, and this was at the Southwest Pen Show back in January of 2016. Again, a pen I've been looking at for an awful long time. This is the Pilot Custom 74. I have this with a fine nib. I love it. There is a review of this separately. You can have a look at this in detail, but it's a pen I keep filling up. You'll see Brian Goulet talks about his, and he's had his, you know, one of his sort of everyday carries, and is very much one of mine. Comfortable, super light, and Pilot nibs, Pilot fine nibs, for me, I can't get any better. I love them. So this is the third pen that has made it into that list now for 2015. Price wise, now here, this is where it's sort of, you know, here in the UK, we do not come out of the whole Pilot pricing thing very well. To buy this new, you're looking at about £175, £185, which is, for me, overpriced, considering that you can get it imported from Japan for around about 80. You just have to wait a while. I had a fantastic deal on this. I was really pleased, could not leave it, and brilliant. So that's three. So where are we looking then for four? Right, on the sort of cheaper end of things, we're looking now at steel nibs. So those three had gold nibs, we're looking at steel nibs. This is the TWSBI 580 AL. I've had this for a few months. This is the pink. I haven't done, there are reviews of the 580 AL. Between Karis and I, we have the pink, we have the orange, and we have the lilac. We've just sold the green on because I don't want to get to a point of having the same, lots of the same pen. This has an extra fine nib on it, but I think these are such good value for money. I looked at the TWSBI Eco and putting that on this list, but I think that made 2015's list, so I didn't want to duplicate sort of things either. But I find this more comfortable than the Eco anyway. So retails in the UK here at £58, £58.99, somewhere along those lines. and comes with such a wide variety of nibs from extra fine right up to the 1.1. And I've never had an issue with any of them cracking. So there's the orange, there's the pink. I love them both. So good lower price point. So that's 4. So finally, this is what I have. This is the John Twist Pen Company handmade. I had this, my husband bought me this at the Lichfield Pen Show back in the summer of this year in the Midlands, and I absolutely love the finish of this. I believe I've done a video of it. I better double check, or you can double check, but I'm sure I did a video of this. This is a steel nib, but I absolutely love the material, and this is what I'm talking about. I love pretty things. It's a steel nib, but it's got that sort of titanium sort of finish, that darker ruthenium finish on it. Extra fine nib again. These are Joe nibs, which are I've never had any issue with at all. But the finish of that, clipless, it's brilliant. John, you're a genius. I sort of love your work. I've got 2 pens I've had handmade by him now. Definitely worth checking out and having a look. Love it. So that's my 5 pens. What I have as well, I just wanted, there's just a couple of sort of mentions, I suppose, because there's a couple that are so close and nearly made the list. These are not in my top 5, I did sort of bring them out, but I just want to say Schaefer Snorkel, vintage pen. I never thought I'd love a vintage pen as much as I do this, so thank you very much Bartek at Acoustic Pens for sending me this pen. This is there as a review as well separately, but just a sort of honourable mention really to that. So close. And then also, I know this sounds bizarre, but this is my OMAS, my one and only OMAS that again I've had now since January, where John sent me this for review and I kindly got to sort of keep it for a while. I never thought I'd own an OMAS pen. It was just so close. The only reason this didn't make it is because it is quite pricey and I don't keep reaching for it as an everyday thing because I don't tend to want to take it out of the house. It's one of those sort of pens that stays in my case and I use around the house and I ink it up and then clean it out and I look after it sort of very well. Not that I don't look after the others, but you know what I mean. So this nearly made it. So again, there's one more thing I want to mention. I can't believe I haven't brought it up with me. I've left it downstairs, but I wanted to also, a product worth mentioning for that's really sort of changed the way I sort of work over 2016 is the William Hanna notebooks. There is a review, please check them out. I've done unboxing reviews, I've done a full review, and then I also had my custom one that I've got 2 of them and I love them both equally. And again, as I say, they've made a big difference to 2016. And David, thank you very much, worth checking out his stuff. If I start saying thank you to everybody, I'm sure I'll miss people, but the Johns, you know who you are. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for me over 2016. And so many sort of manufacturers and people that have sort of reached out. Thank you all to all of my viewers. We are also humbled and sort of very grateful. You know, we're approaching sort of 2,700 subscribers, and I'm really sort of grateful for that. Instagram has really taken off this year and I'm nearing the 3,000 sort of followers there, and I'm just grateful for the fact that you like what I do. On the whole, you know, there will always be people that don't, but really it doesn't bother me. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and New Year, and let's see what 2017 brings. I've got a few things that are really exciting, that not just sort of video wise, but I'm hoping to put on, you know, an event now in 2017 that I'm talking to a couple of people about really at the moment. So watch this space here in the UK. But again, thank you very, very much. Have a great holidays. Any questions, please just drop me a line. Otherwise, I will see you all probably in 2017. Bye.